Chris? Is that the way you look at it?
Oh, a little bit. I mean, we were pretty poor tonight. I mean, I watched them play last week and then didn't really expect... Sorry, it's not always expecting to play their best, but the intensity they brought this week was completely different to last week, and we're a little bit off. And in today's footy, that's enough. I'm not sure whether you've believed me, but I've said it a few times this year. There's a finer line than I reckon you guys think. A lot of what we tried tonight didn't work. I thought their intensity around the ball, particularly early, was probably a bit better than ours. And after that, we struggled to get back in the game. But I think all Geelong supporters in particular would love the way our players just fight the game out. Even when the game's seemingly lost, they just keep fighting. And that's a fantastic character trait. We've got to make sure that when our experienced players move on, that our young players continue to show that fighting spirit.
Seemed to be guys like Christensen and that had got you 3 goals up at the start, really faded out of the game. Was that a bit disappointing?
So you think he was symbolic of the younger guys in general?
No, I just thought he maybe was giving you a real spark and you were right with them pace-wise, and then they seemed to burn you off a bit. He might have been the kind of guy that could have got you over the line. But
yeah, look, a few of our younger guys have got a bit of pace and are really sharp, but we've got to understand, and I think a lot of sides are in the same position, when you bring young players in, you're going to get a little bit of inconsistency. And it's our job as a coaching group to make sure that we iron out that inconsistency. But yeah, look, I didn't think that we spread as hard as we have in previous weeks, but it's not a pattern that I've seen. It's a little bit of a one-off. If I'm saying the same things next week, then I'll be a bit more concerned.
Chris, what hurt you the most? The missing the set shots, do you think, or was it?
Yeah, I mean the numbers probably show that. I mean they kicked. The numbers show that they kicked exceptionally well for goal, but they kicked some sodas as well. So that kind of blurs the numbers a bit. We clearly missed some shots that we should have taken, but I think there's a little bit more to it than goal kicking accuracy. But yeah, when you have, 15 more inside 50s, you have more shots, you probably expect to win the game. But if there's a stat that you really want to hang your hat on as journos, you probably look at the uncontested marks and just the possession count. Old school stuff. If the opposition has the ball 113 more times than you do, marks it 35 or 36 times more than you do, then they're probably in control of the game.
Is it fair to say that's what you do to most sides?
Yeah, historically, and I can only really comment on this year. Our possession counts come down. I think that's probably in line with the modern game. But when you're beaten by that amount, then that makes it very hard to stay in the game. But yeah, more than the kicks and handballs, I was irritated by the uncontested marks.
In terms of the intelligence they had a huge impact. Did you get a sense of that?
Of course it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get that sense that they were?
Oh, what did he say? Like, it's a question he should answer. I mean, I've obviously I'm not privy to what went on behind closed doors there.
Yeah. Oh, he said just the way I said. He said there was a bit of Geelong about them.
About Essendon?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good sign for them.
I guess the Scarlet matchup, did that have an impact, did you think?
What was the Scarlet matchup?
Sending Welsh to him.
Yeah, Scarlet played on Crammery for sort of most of the second half, and Scarlet didn't have a great game, but yeah, I think they would be happy that Scarlet's influence on the game was limited. Yep.
Mitch Brown?
Yeah, it's hard to say at the moment, but he's hurt his shoulder a little bit, a shoulder that he's hurt in the past. So, he's had some terrible luck. So we really feel for him, but it's not the worst thing he's had to deal with, and we're going to support him and make sure he bounces back. Hopefully, it's only short term, but we don't know yet.
When did you know Joel would play? When did you
Joel
know?
Corey, well, after our last training session. Yeah, he's got a little bit of Achilles irritation, so. We've been really cautious with those sort of situations this year, and we'll continue to do that.
Have you sent guys to Perth already, some of the players?
Yeah, Travis Varco, Joel Selwood and Joel Corey are already in Perth.
So when will the rest join them?
The day before the game.
Yeah.
And it obviously won't take much to get the boys up again, given that it's a game against a potential top 4 side over there.
Yeah, I hope so, but time will tell a little bit. I think the as I said earlier, the fighting spirit amongst our group is still pretty strong. They're bitterly disappointed that we lost that game, but we try not to think too short term. It's the long term that is the most important. But if you start to string losses together, then the short term becomes critical. So we've got to bounce back. We play another opposition that's coming off the bye, and it's going to be a real challenge. There's probably, West Coast will be up there in the top 2 or 3 biggest challenges in the competition at the moment over in Perth. So I think it's coming a good time for us.
Moody close to returning.
Yeah, he's played 4 now, kicked 5 in the first half today. But we've said all along it's not a form issue with Moons, it's a body issue. He seemed to move pretty well. I don't think we're going to rush him. So we've got a pretty specific plan. It doesn't involve him playing a hell of a lot of AFL footy in the short term, but the signs are really good with him. And the signs are pretty good with Tom Hawkins today as well. So although our forward half's not working as well as we'd like it to, we think we've got some options there.
What can you do with those tall forwards at the moment? Are you looking to persevere with J-Pod and Nathan, or are you going to continue to look at what your options are over the next few weeks?
Yeah, we're far from settled there, so and that's by design. We've been pleased with some of the stuff Mitch Brown showed. Unfortunately, it looks like he's not going to play for a couple of weeks, so someone else might get their chance in there. But I think at some stage we do need to settle it down and work out what exactly our best setup is. But we're at least a few weeks away from doing that. So we're really happy with Vardy's development, and we'll keep persisting with him. And when I say persist, I mean that's probably a poor choice of words. I mean we're happy with the output we're getting from him, and as I've said right through the whole year, Tom Hawkins is well and truly in our long-term plans. So whether it's 2 tall forwards or 3, we're unsure.